This video will be a full tour and documentation of this 2020 Nissan Altima S. This Altima is painted in Glacier White.
Chrome door handles. You do have smart key access for the front doors. The front door panels do have storage areas with bottle holders, and you get power windows, power mirrors, and power door locks.
The S trim has cloth seating, and this one's got the charcoal interior color scheme.
It does have a fully powered driver's seat. And now, let's go ahead and start the engine. On the key fob, you have the buttons for remote start, lock, unlock, trunk release, and panic. And it does have, along with smart key, push button start.
The Altima is Nissan's entry in the midsize sedan segment, going up against established competitors like the Honda Accord and Toyota Camry. The model made its debut for the 1993 model year to replace the Nissan Stanza, and early Altimas were even branded as the Stanza Altima. Not long after, though, the car was simply called the Altima. As of the 2022 model year, it's currently in its 6th generation. This 2020 we have here represents the Altima's 6th and current generation, which made its debut for the 2019 model year. For this generation, all-wheel drive was made an option, which is a first for the Altima. The V6 engine was also no longer offered, and the top engine instead is now a variable compression turbocharged inline-four, the first production one of its kind. The Gen 6 Altima is also available with safety tech like Nissan's ProPilot Assist semi-autonomous driving system. Trim levels for the US market 2020 model year Altima include the base S like we have here, followed by SR, SV, SL, and the range-topping Platinum. Two different engines are offered in the lineup, both being inline-fours. Standard on all Altimas is a naturally aspirated 2.5-liter with up to 188 horsepower. Optional on SR and Platinum models is the variable compression 2-liter Turbo 4 with a potent 248 horsepower and over 270 pound-feet of torque. The sole transmission across the range is an automatic CVT. As for drivetrains, your options are front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. If you get all-wheel drive, though, you have to get the base 2.5-liter engine. SR models also get a unique sport-tuned suspension setup. There is also a plethora of available safety features via a couple of option suites, but standard on even the base S trim are things like forward collision warning, auto braking, intelligent trace control, and intelligent driver alertness. Not to mention you can option the S model out with even more safety tech. There are many other safety features in the Altima lineup I didn't mention. Basically, this car is one of many new models that's packed to the brim with things to ensure its occupants are safe. In Nissan's 2020 sedan lineup, the midsize Altima is slotted between the compact Sentra and the flagship Maxima.
In the instrument cluster, you have 4 analog gauges, which are your tachometer, speedometer, fuel gauge, and temperature gauge. And front and center is a pretty large digital info display, which can be gone through via the buttons here on the steering wheel. It has a 4-spoke design, multifunctional steering wheel. It does have a flat bottom design, and sport grips at 10 and 2. But as for controls, on this side you have your information display controls along with your audio controls. And then here you have your cruise controls along with your hands-free phone and voice command controls. It is a tilt and telescopic steering wheel. Your fuel door release, your power trunk release, panel dim, your trip reset, so could go between your odometer and then your trip computers as well, besides just the resetting. Got an air vent for the driver. Right here is your exterior lighting stock, and on this side is your wiper stock. Going down the center of the interior, you have your touchscreen infotainment system, which we'll go over in a bit. Also got some physical controls like your volume, power, and tuning knobs, seat track, and some shortcuts. Air vents, your passenger airbag indicator, and your hazard light switch. Below that, you have all the controls for your single zone climate control. There is a storage area here, and you also have a power outlet, an aux port, a USB port, and a USB-C port. Your push button ignition is right in front of the shifter. Putting it in reverse does reveal a backup camera. And then with this button on the shifter, you can toggle on or off your sport mode. You have 2 cup holders, a little bit of storage as well. Nice center console. The glove box is lockable. Both sun visors do have vanity mirrors and lights. Got grab handles for the front passenger and rear passengers. On the overhead console, got a sunglass holder and your overhead lighting. So here is the NissanConnect infotainment system. Pretty simple. I said it about all of them, don't I? Need to come up with some new things to say. But this is the home screen. We're able to customize it. As you can see, this push the home menu button takes you here. Phone for pairing a phone, connections you might have. Audio, you do get AM, FM, Sirius XM, and Bluetooth audio streaming. Sound settings, all that kind of stuff. System info, system settings. I think that's just about the gist of it. I do apologize if I did miss a couple things. But now we'll go ahead and roll down the driver's window and take a look at the engine bay. The driver's window is automatic up and down.
Standard on the S trim are these 16-inch steel rims with wheel covers. Powering the Altima S is the Altima's base engine for 2020, which is a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated inline-four. It's a dual overhead cam, 16-valve power plant with direct injection and variable valve timing, and in front-wheel drive models like this one, it puts out 188 horsepower at 6,000 RPM, along with 180 pound-feet of torque at 3,600 RPM. The sole transmission is Nissan's Xtronic Continuously Variable Automatic, or CVT. Running on regular unleaded with a 16.2-gallon fuel tank, EPA estimates for the front-wheel drive Altima S are a super impressive 28 mpg in the city and 39 mpg on the highway. Keep in mind this is not a hybrid. It has a McPherson strut front suspension and a multi-link rear setup. Stopping the car are four-wheel disc brakes with the front ones being vented. Base curb weight for the Altima S is a little over 3,200 pounds.
The fuel cap is located on the driver's side. The rear door panels also have storage areas. Both front seats have storage pockets on the backs. For rear passengers, you do get a USB and a USB-C port, as well as a folding center armrest with two cup holders. Now, as for rear comfort, as someone who's about 6'1" with the driver's seat roughly where I would have it if I was driving, I am very impressed with the back seat of this Altima. Legroom is still really sufficient. My feet can fit under the seat, so I can kind of just lounge comfortably back here. Headroom is not the best in the world. My head is kind of barely brushing up against it, but I don't have to bend my neck down or anything. So, very nice, spacious back seat. I know sedans just aren't as popular anymore with crossovers and SUVs being all the rage nowadays, but particularly this mid-size sedan segment I still think is really good. You know, for someone who maybe doesn't ever plan on going off-road, they don't need ground clearance, but they want something nice and spacious, or someone who just prefers the look of a sedan. The mid-size sedan segment is really good because they're not too huge like the full-size ones, but they have quite a spacious interior. It does have dual exhaust.
The trunk of the Altima can carry up to 15.4 cubic feet of cargo.
Anyhow, thanks for checking out this tour of this 2020 Nissan Altima. And as always, stay on the lookout for future tours.